winter starts on Monday, but will it be wet or will it be snowy? Well, it has certainly been a wet November so far. Here are the rainfall stats for what we've had of rainfall compared to that November average for the 30-year period. And you can see actually across much of central England, it's been a really wet November so far. We've had well over the month's rainfall fall already, and that happened actually quite early on in the month. Much drier though across the south and east as well as the north and west. Now, although it has been really wet so far this November, that won't have made up for the deficit in rainfall we've had already this year. This is how we're looking on our rainfall amount for the year of 2025, and you can see these brown colours here showing you that we're still at a deficit in rainfall across the country, but in particular across southeastern areas. So that's why there's still restrictions in water. Despite this rainfall that we've had recently, we've still got deficits of rainfall and reservoirs are still running at a deficit. But that doesn't mean that any rain we will see over the next few days won't bring any impacts to the UK. And as I said, on Monday, the start of meteorological winter, the start of December, we're expecting an area of low pressure to bring with it a lot of rain, particularly to western areas. It's a huge area of low pressure out in the Atlantic. It's already developed, so there's a good amount of confidence in the forecast from Monday onwards. We're likely to see some waves developing on these weather fronts that could bring more persistent rain to southern areas. And as a result, we do have a number of weather warnings in force for southern areas of the UK on Monday for rainfall. So please check out our website and app for more details on that, because we're likely to see some travel disruption due to the rainfall amounts. How much rain can we expect throughout Monday? Well, here are the rainfall totals through the 24-hour rainfall totals throughout the next few days. And you can see Monday here poking out to us as highlighted as a pretty wet day. It's particularly across western areas and actually the high ground in the western areas. So the Brecon Beacons, parts of Dartmoor in the southwest being highlighted here. But we could also see some quite wet weather across the high ground further north as well throughout Monday. But we will likely see some impacts from that rain, and the rain is expected to persist into next week as well. So as we have a look at the sequence for the weather throughout the first part of next week, you can see this deep area of low pressure bringing with it pulses of rain, some spells of quite strong winds as well, particularly across the southwest. And this area of low pressure will remain out to the west of the UK throughout Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, continuing to sweep up spells of rain. So that means we'll have southwesterly winds across the UK and quite a lot of cloud, particularly overnight. So temperatures are going to be quite close to average. We're not expecting any widespread frost through the first part of next week or throughout the first week of December, and daytime temperatures are going to be pretty close to average. So that's sort of higher single figures, just about double digits by day for some areas. So definitely a pretty cloudy and damp first week of December and first week of winter. Now, does that theme continue throughout the rest of winter? Well, the most likely scenario throughout the second week of December is for low pressure to still be sat out to the north and west of the UK. And so that means that we're likely to expect more of the same, more of that quite average, those average temperatures, not bringing any widespread cold nights, as well as quite a lot of wet weather across more western areas. So it's the west where the rainfall totals will start to build up throughout the week. It's going to be a steady build, and the theme through December remains the same. That's not to say we won't see any colder weather here and there. These are the most likely scenarios. You can see a lot of them have got cyclonic, that's low pressure in charge. And as we keep going through, you can see rainfall totals all in the west. That's not to say we won't necessarily see high pressure from time to time. We will likely still see some short-lived colder, drier interludes, but the main theme for at least the first couple of weeks of December is for low pressure to dominate, with wet weather across the west. Now, of course, Christmas falls in December. It's less than a month to go. So what does that mean for our chances of a white Christmas? Well, here at the Met Office, we have a very exclusive snowometer that we will be updating you with throughout the next few weeks in the run up to Christmas. Now, as you can see, it's thinking about it, but unfortunately it is too early to say whether we're going to see a white Christmas here in the UK this year. Now, on average, it is about a 50% chance that we will see a white Christmas with the stats in the UK. For it to be a white Christmas, we need one snowflake to be observed falling in the 24 hours of the 25th of December at any Met Office observation station. Now, that can be by a Met Office observer or by an automated machine. But for the detail of the forecast at this time range, it's just under a month until Christmas. The day-to-day detail is just not there yet. And what we know so far is that it's most likely to be on the milder and wetter side for Christmas Day.